Welcome to the Grateful American series, an interactive multimedia program designed to restore enthusiasm in American history for kids and adults too. Creator of this series is David Bruce Smith, an author and publisher here in Washington, D.C. I'm Hope Katz Gibbs, your co-host, founder of Incandescent Public Relations and Incandescent TV. We are here today with author Tom Fleming, who has written 50 books, including the two that we're going to be talking about today, The Intimate Lives of the Founding Fathers, and Liberty, the American Revolution. So welcome to the show, Tom.
Well, I'm happy to be here.
So tell us a little bit about this book.
This is a book that I spent about 15 years trying to persuade editors to let me write. I write novels too, and of course novels delve into the personal lives of characters. It slowly dawned on me that history books should do this too. And what better subjects than the six greatest founding fathers, the six people who did the most to create this country. At the top of the list is George Washington, next is Benjamin Franklin, next is Thomas Jefferson, next is John Adams, next is James Madison, and next is Alexander Hamilton. They were fascinating people, each one of them in his own way.
What was the common thread that they all had?
They all had a commitment to liberty. John Adams maybe have put it best. John said, we're fighting for a more equal liberty. And that was because the British claimed that they had liberty too, British liberty, which was basically a fake, if I may say so. But nonetheless, that's what bound them all. In 1776, Great Britain stood astride the whole world. They defeated the French. They had the most powerful army and by far the most powerful navy in the world. And here we were, this little collection of barely 3 million people, taking them on and fighting for our lives. That was a hugely daring thing to do. Once they won this war and achieved the independence, which was synonymous with liberty, then they realized they had to bring order to this liberty. And that's when they sat down and said, what can we do to do this? And they wrote the Constitution, which is still the guiding force in our country today. They're also the men behind all the things that we take such pride in, the freedom to give our own opinions, to write the books that we want to write, and to read the newspapers that we choose to read. All of these things were created by the Bill of Rights that was attached to the Constitution. And that was the work of the founders.
Tom, tell me, who is your favorite founding father?
For a long time, I would have answered that with Benjamin Franklin because he's so likable. But the longer I've studied this subject, the American Revolution, the more I become admiring and even grateful to George Washington. And I think this is a feeling that everybody had that we've lost because, we're far, far away from the actual experience. But Washington did two incredible things. He won this war, and then instead of becoming a military dictator like Oliver Cromwell in England, he resigned his commission and just went back to being a private citizen. And then he became president of the United States, and people were predicting all over the world, oh, he'll be president until he dies, and so forth and so forth. After 2 terms, he resigned that and went back to Mount Vernon. And George Washington had no race prejudice. When free black men said they wanted to join the army in the American Revolution, he said, if you want to fight for liberty, I'm with you. And by 1780, 1 in every 7 soldiers in the Continental Army was a black man. And that's something that we have totally forgotten. Abraham Lincoln found this out. It had a huge impact on him. He decided then he would enlist black soldiers in the Civil War's armies. And it was because he had been told that Washington did this. It gave him the courage to do it. Now, in my book, Liberty, the American Revolution, this is the picture of a cavalry battle. It's called the Battle of Cowpens down in South Carolina. And on the one side of that, you see a young black boy riding into the fight with a pistol in his hand. And he shoots that gun, and he hits the horse of a British officer who was about to cut down the best cavalryman we had in the war. His name, incidentally, was William Washington. He was George Washington's cousin. And this black boy saved that man's life.
Amazing. That is a perfect note to end our interview on.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tom Fleming.
Oh, thank you. It was just great.
That's it for today's episode of the Grateful American series. We look forward to restoring enthusiasm in American history for you and your kids. Be sure to check out our website for more episodes at www.incandescenttv.com.